Welcome to DeTalks with Allison.
Oh shit, we're recording.
You are the best podcast naming person.
This is the show where we sit down with comedians and other funny people, make them take their vitamins, and ask them about their life or whatever else we get into. Let's hope Charlie got it right this time. Hey guys, welcome back to DeTalks with Allison. We got Tai Nguyen in the studio today, fixing his posture as soon as I start the show.
Oh yeah, posture is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about the wellness stuff already today. Got you hooked up to an IV?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's coming inside my IV right now is actually baby blood.
Dude, Dean Stanfield was like, did you put adrenochrome in this? Which is basically that. We've had people think I put morphine in there.
Yeah.
Brandon thought I peed in the bag because they're yellow.
I mean, supposedly, that's how you stay young.
Yeah, you know, ask the Clintons, right?
Yeah.
Starting off strong. Perfect.
But it's not baby blood. You should tell them what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so MSW Lounge hooks us up with IVs for the podcast if the guest wants one. And Ty told me he wanted one that would make him write better jokes. So we put some detox in there. So we're doing, what did I tell you? We have NAC, precursor to glutathione, which is the body's biggest antioxidant. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay. NAC, we put B complex, so a bunch of B vitamins in there. B5, good for serotonin. And then taurine for energy and drive. And then NAD, which is the one everyone's been calling the Joe Rogan fuel.
Oh,
it's
so he take that?
He does, yeah. It's like, if we want to get into chemistry, there's like ATP is cellular energy. NAD is like the precursor to that. So it basically helps to fuel your cells with more energy. So when I say like you might feel the IV a little bit, it kind of just feels like a rush that I can't really compare to anything else. It's just a rush, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How's it feel so far?
Feel cool. I don't really feel like a rush or anything.
Yeah, you have a pretty slow
I think
dose.
my blood is dripping
I
though.
know, that's why I was asking if it feels okay.
Yeah.
I'll text the nurse. Let's see. But yeah.
Maybe mine really does have baby blood. That's why it's coming out.
Can y'all check Tais IV bleeding a bit? Yeah, that happens sometimes. I think that probably happened just when she stuck you and she didn't wipe it properly. But yeah, so she'll be in a second. You also have like a lower dose of NAD, so you might not feel it too big of a rush. But
yeah,
like I said, Sam Lopez texted me after her episode and was like, I swim another hour after this. Yeah. The story I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, which we might want to get into this later, but like how you had a meditation one time when like you kind of felt like you were high and like on drugs and stuff. I was dying. My friend Allie called me yesterday, and I'm not gonna say any more than her. She's my friend Allie. But she got drug tested at her job, and she is like so clean, right? Like she's always terrified she's gonna get drug tested. Like she doesn't want to even get close to messing with any of that, right? So she's never touched any drug that's illegal. And she called me yesterday and she goes, I tested positive for opiates on my random drug test. And I was like, how? And she goes, it's because I put everything but the bagel seasoning on everything, which has poppy seeds.
Oh.
I was like, are you living in an episode of Seinfeld? Like, I did not know that was possible. So if you eat a lot of bagels, I guess, just...
and then she have evidence to prove.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but she was just like, I have never taken a drug and I tested positive and almost lost my job. I was like, you may as well just take drugs, dude. Like.
Well, now I kind of see why people eat bagel.
Right?
They probably get high from it.
It's a good cover-up. Yeah. Do bagels make you high? I hope they do. Yeah. Jalen's already laughing. Oh God. So Ty, let's talk about you a little bit.
Okay.
My perspective of knowing who you are is like you were already in the comedy scene when I started.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
I'm doing it for 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. When you came in, I think I was doing it for 3 years.
Yeah.
You started 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you at Cherrywood.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I remember your performance. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
It was this
This
bitch.
it came out from a sorority or something?
I was like trying so hard to not look like a sorority girl. And
Yeah.
then all the comics could smell it just immediately.
Oh yeah, and your material is like very sorority-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
Without ever having to mention a sorority. It's
Yeah.
just like, okay.
Yep. But you were in a sorority, huh?
I was in a sorority in college.
Mm.
Yeah. I went to UT, did the whole Greek life thing. Come on in. Hey, this is Nurse Doza. I think his IV's hooked up okay. I just don't think he was wiped properly when it was first plugged in.
We're good.
Yeah, can we just get a wipe for it though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I didn't want to like
He was like
fuck up
making
this couch, you know?
He was like making a joke about how there's adrenochrome / baby blood in his IV,
Yeah.
and then we saw a little bit of his blood.
I think we're good.
There we
Okay.
go. Awesome.
Hydroperoxide won't take care of it.
Cool.
Is that good? You need more?
I'm good.
All
Yeah.
right, cool. Thanks.
Appreciate
John.
it. Yeah.
That was Nurse Doza. Cameo
Thank you.
appearance. Yeah, I was in a sorority at UT, which is
When I-
wild because like when you're in it,
Uh-huh.
it feels like everyone's in Greek life, and
Yeah.
then you find out compared to like most other Southern schools, it's a pretty small percentage.
Mhm.
Like I think UT was maybe 10% of the population was in one, and like most Southern schools, it's like 40 to 60% of people are in Greek life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wild time for sure.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never got to experience any like college fraternity or
Did
sorority
you go to
stuff.
college?
I went to community college.
Yeah.
Yeah. That don't really count. That's like
That's like we show up for class and go home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed defeated.
Oh. Did you go to community college in Austin?
Yeah, I went to Austin Community College.
Hell yeah.
And it was paid for. Cause they have some program that if you're a minority and you have to pass all your class with an A, then you don't have to pay any of it back.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, I went, I passed all my stuff, and I got a degree which I never used. It's a computer and desktop support
Okay.
degree. Yeah.
That's a degree.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I never even use it for like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just were like, I want a degree, so I'm just gonna do this.
My parent actually kind of like pleaded with me to just get something.
Right.
Yeah, so I got it, and yeah, I didn't learn anything in community college, like zero.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
aced all of your classes and didn't learn anything.
Yeah, it's stuff that I already knew before about
Yeah.
computer and stuff. Yeah.
Do you do computer work now as your day job?
No, I
No.
don't do anything.
Nothing related
Yeah.
to that.
So if any comedian watching this, right, I just want to say that I don't make money off of comedy full time.
Okay.
Okay. So here's how it happens. Last year, like during the pandemic, like before December, you know how when you own a house, you have to pay property tax at the end of the year?
Yeah.
It's like $8 grand for mine. So I was just driving for DoorDash, trying to pay the property bill. So every night I would drive for DoorDash,
Right.
and I would be really into cryptocurrency. So I would listen to like YouTube video on cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So any extra money I have, I invested in crypto.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it just popped.
Popped.
Yeah, so now when I need money, I just sell off my crypto.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's how it worked.
Jalen's clapping.
Yeah, so you think I sell drugs? Wrong, buddy.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering because I feel like were you into crypto before COVID? Because
I had not really. I
Not
knew
really.
that it exists.
Yeah.
That Bitcoin exists because of all the story behind it
Right.
and stuff. But I didn't. Doing crypto, right?
Yeah.
During the COVID, everybody was into Robinhood. Everybody
Yeah.
was into investing, right?
Right.
I became one of those person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really into stock and stuff. That's how I learned about crypto. I was like, hey, I can make more money off of crypto.
Dude.
It's super risky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sold all my stock and put inside crypto. And any money I got from DoorDash, I would throw it inside crypto. And I really didn't tell anybody about it. I mean,
Yeah.
every time I told somebody about crypto, they'd be like, are you okay? Yeah, that's the real thing. Yeah, like, are you depressed?
Well, especially before COVID, right? Because like Bitcoin was really the only one people knew about.
Yeah.
And then like when COVID hit,
Even
Bitcoin
during
was still the only one people knew about,
yeah,
really.
even during COVID, I told people about crypto and stuff.
Yeah.
And they would look at me like, "Are you okay?"
Well, that's
Yeah.
so crazy because like I also started buying crypto
Yeah.
like during COVID, probably like I would say I think it was maybe August 2020, so a while after COVID.
Okay,
But that was when Bitcoin
that's a good time to buy.
But that was still when Bitcoin was only 19 grand, right?
Yeah.
And like my roommate just texted me when I was on my way over here that Coinbase has crashed today.
Oh, really?
Today we're shooting this on October 27th.
When Coinbase
Coinbase crashed today.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's going crazy on there, but I guess a lot of people
Shiba is going crazy.
Shiba is going crazy
Yeah.
because let's just say like I'll throw numbers on this one because
Yeah.
I was really uncertain about Shiba. I found that one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I threw $50 into it.
Yeah.
And as of last night, it was worth $250.
Oh, nice.
And then this morning, it's like 2 more decimal points, like
Yeah.
up from what it was last night. So I don't even know what my $50 is worth right now.
I mean, some people think it might go to 1 cent.
I know, which
Yeah.
is like if you throw, I mean, it's at like 4 zeros. It's like
Yeah.
0.4 zeros and then a 7 is where
Yeah.
it's peaking at right now.
Yeah.
And that's crashing Coinbase.
Yeah.
So it's like if you throw $50 into it right now and it's about to make its way to 1 cent.
Yeah, you might have 5 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and like to me, with crypto, because I started with stocks too. Like my dad's like a
Oh,
stocks
yeah? He's
guy,
a stock
right?
guy?
Like he's a corporate guy, but he
Uh-huh.
put his savings into stocks, right? And so
I
like
think that's pretty smart.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so like when I learned about investing, I learned it about stocks first, right?
Yeah.
And he's really questioning about
Mhm.
about
Crypto,
crypto because
yeah.
he's a stock guy.
Yeah.
And so when I started buying crypto, I literally was like, okay, what amount of money am I okay with losing? Which is
Yeah.
kind of like a negative way to look at it, but it's
Yeah.
also like if it's something as volatile as coins,
Yeah.
it's kind of a good way to look at it too, right? That's
Yeah.
why I threw 50 into Shiba just to see what would happen,
Yeah.
right? And it just was like it was like feeding the beast because I
Yeah.
threw 100 into Bitcoin and then it was worth 200 the next month and I was like, shit, I guess I can put more in and like and
Yeah.
it's like it turned out like at least right now buying certain coins is actually it's like you almost can't look at it as how much can I lose. It's like
Yeah.
how much can I gain right now?
Yeah.
Because you can always just watch it and if it starts falling, just pull out what your original investment was.
Oh, yeah.
you
That's
know?
a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
It's like pull out your initial investment and let the rest ride.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the stock market or crypto market, is designed to fuck with human psychology.
Yeah.
Because a lot of humans don't have DNA gratification.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. People really want that hit.
Yeah. But if you would hold it for like years, it would be worth way more.
Thank you so much for watching the show. DeTalks with Allison is produced by Big Laugh Comedy. Big Laugh Comedy is changing the world one comedy experience at a time. We've got awesome stuff that we're working on, lots of live shows all over Texas, including San Antonio, San Marcos, Austin, Fort Worth, and even Dallas. There's also an awesome platform on our website at blcomedy.com where you can check out comedy news, funny articles, hilarious videos, and also this podcast. So if you want to go find out all the latest things in the comedy world, go to blcomedy.com. And if you want to be the first to know about new tickets dropping and other fun opportunities, go to blcomedy.com/VIP-list. And you'll sign up for our free VIP list where you can be the first one to get exclusive updates on all the cool comedy stuff happening in Texas. So wondering why, because I heard people making jokes about like, oh, ask Tai about Ethereum and
Yeah.
stuff. And so I was
Yeah.
wondering what that timeline was for you, because I think that's so smart. Like,
Yeah.
because I'll drive Lyft for extra money, and that's how I get my like,
Yeah.
investing money, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, it's so funny that doing a job like Lyft or DoorDash or something, people think you're not being smart with your money.
Hey.
But there's a way you can be very
think-
smart with that.
I think DoorDash, right?
Yeah.
Not Lyft. DoorDash is a great way for you to learn new stuff.
Yeah.
Because while you're driving, you can have something on that will educate you.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you listen to like a lot of podcasts about it too?
Yeah. And other podcasts too, because you're just on the road
Right.
and driving. Yeah. with Lyft, you can't really do that.
Yeah, you
'Cause
kind
you
of
have
have to
to-
respect the.
Yeah.
Have you gotten like a Lyft or an Uber driver that doesn't give a fuck about that rule?
So what I do is I would put on classical music
Yeah.
when I drive for Lyft, and people compliment me on it. They're like, "Wow, you have the best music ever."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all my rating would be good because I put on classical music. So that's a tip. If you drive for Lyft, put on classical music.
My
Because it's the most
version-
neutral music.
That is true. I was
Yeah.
gonna say my version is like kind of house EDM, which like when you say EDM, people think it's like drop the bass, da da da.
yeah.
But like house is like
It could be
the
chill.
house is like the synth fun vibes that are more chill that
Yeah.
like doesn't necessarily rock the house. And
Yeah.
so that's what I put on when I'm driving Lyft, and most people really are cool with that too. You just made me think about though, like I've had several Lyft drivers that like totally just don't give a fuck about the rule. Like they'll just keep their podcast on when I'm in the
Yeah.
car. Or
I've seen that. I
was-
hop in a couple of
Yeah.
Uber that have Joe Rogan on.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
There was one, so I was in St. Louis one time, and like it was like February or something. I was being such an idiot. I was like in St. Louis when it was really cold, and St. Louis cold is very cold. Like
Yeah.
it's bad, and like I went on a walk, and I got so cold on this walk that I was like, I'm just gonna dip into this CVS over here and call a Lyft to go home
Yeah.
because like I'm far from my house. I'm too cold. And I walk into the CVS, and like everyone in the store is kind of giving me a funny look, and I was like, okay, whatever. I call the Lyft, and the guy pulls up, and I get in the car, and he's like, all right, Mom, I'll talk to you later. She's good. Bye. He hangs up the phone, and I was like, were you scared I was catfishing you? Like, did you think my profile picture on Lyft was incorrect? He was like
Yeah.
a black guy driving the car, and he was like, yeah, he was like, I was thinking you were gonna be a dude that was gonna get in here and try and steal my car. He was like,
you
there's
were in
never,
the rough part.
he was like,
St.
there's
Louis
never
then.
white girls in this neighborhood by
Oh.
themselves. And I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even know what I walked into. Like, he was like, oh fuck. I'm
You know you're in
sorry.
a rough neighborhood when the Lyft driver don't trust the profile pic.
Dude, and he was a well-built black man. Like,
Yeah.
and it was a small white girl's
Yeah.
picture. And I was just like, dude, you definitely could have taken anyone that got into this car. But like, yeah, it was just so funny. And I was like, oh fuck, that's how St. Louis is though. It's like you walk 2 blocks and suddenly you're in one of those areas and you don't even know because the
yeah?
buildings all look the same.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like Chicago is similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you lived in any other cities in America besides Austin?
No, I live in Austin pretty much. Ever since I got from Vietnam here
Yeah.
when I was 5 years old. I've been in Austin.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What
But
brought
I've been
your-
to Chicago, Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What brought your parents here?
The Vietnam War. So yeah, after the Vietnam War, my dad went to prison.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then when he got out, he started a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was like a rumor that America is coming
Yeah.
to get the veteran into the United States. It was just a rumor.
Right.
And it turned out to be true. So one night we went to the
Wow.
airport and they scooped it up. Now we're in America.
Holy shit.
I know. It's like a very quick thing.
So
it
y'all
doesn't
like
have time to
evacuated
prepare.
basically.
Yeah.
Is that?
I feel like it's
I was gonna
dripping.
say,
Yeah.
it's
Maybe because I'm
dripping.
moving.
Yeah, but that
Maybe.
shouldn't. You said someone again. All right. Yeah, I mean that's not gonna hurt anything. It's just I think he maybe like didn't twist it on all
Oh
the
yeah,
way.
it didn't hurt at all.
But wow, that's so fascinating. So when your dad was fighting in the war, like he was clearly like on the
Yeah, he's in the field.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was did he like so he was a combat veteran.
Yeah, he's like a sergeant of his
Yeah.
platoon. Yeah.
Can I ask like why he went to prison? Like was he
You know,
because of
that's how it works in the war. After you lose, you go to prison.
Yeah, okay, I figured that was what it was. Yeah.
It's like they're gonna nut you out. You're gonna start rebelling.
Yeah,
and
so he was
shit.
clearly the rebellion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
definitely go
wild.
to prison. Yeah. And after you go out, you can't get a job.
Right.
Yeah. So for his job, he would chop wood and stuff
Yeah.
and put it on a rickshaw bike,
And just like
drive
deliver
it and sell it. And when he's on the road and he see like police officer or communist, he has to like go high
Jeez.
and then get back in the boat again. It's kind of
Because
funny.
they could like throw him back into jail if they wanted, or do you think they'd just be shitheads?
Probably shithead, because they kind of know like
Yeah.
who people are, you know?
That's so wild.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember like being a kid over there at all?
I remember some instances, but not everything. I remember, so I kind of live in like the jungle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't have like toilet, like flushing toilet.
Right.
So what a toilet is like a huge hole in the ground.
Yep.
It's like a well.
Right.
And it's so huge that when you look down, it's kind of like you couldn't see like
Where
the end
stuff.
of it.
Yeah.
But you can smell it though.
Right.
Yeah. So take a shit. It's kind of scary because like you sit on the edge of the hole.
Yeah.
And then you take a dump.
Jeez.
Yeah. So you fell down there. You're gone.
Woo!
Yeah, you're gone.
Did people die like that?
I have no idea,
Oh,
but
God.
you would die.
I
Who's
mean, I
gonna
guess
come
you
up-
could try to climb out. Like, if it's just dug in the ground, you could probably like.
You could, yeah. You could probably go to like the edge of it.
Yeah.
Probably trying to
Oh, that would be so
not
gross.
drown. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn. Your
That's
nostril would
crazy.
be gone. I
Yeah,
bet.
that's
Yeah.
for sure. You'd be like, damn, I want COVID after this.
I mean-
take my smell.
After you done that, nothing else could embarrass you, I bet.
Yeah. They just call you the shit guy
Yeah,
forever.
the shit guy, yeah.
He literally crawled out of the gutter.
Yeah. I mean, if that happened to you, they'd probably put a rope down. So you could,
Yeah, reach you out.
climb
I think
up.
we're just dripping a little bit. I don't really know how to
Yeah.
check it. Like I just saw like clear liquid from the IV come out for a second. Thanks, Nurse Doza.
Appreciate it.
There we go.
Thank you.
Caught it.
Yeah.
Boom. You're making good progress on yours. Hell yeah. That's so crazy. I didn't know that about you. Like I love finding out like
Uh-huh.
I love finding out that shit. Like that's such an interesting way to like be raised. Like did you feel like once you got over here your parents like tried to keep like some of your heritage plus also America? Like were they trying to do both or
Yeah, so my mom would teach me Vietnamese, how to write in Vietnamese and how to read the language. And she also made me learn English. So, yeah. And in the household, we only speak Vietnamese to each other. We don't speak English.
Do your parents speak English or did they when they moved over?
They don't really speak English. They speak a bit.
Yeah.
I think they don't want to learn English. They have like something in their head that prevents them from learning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely older as an adult too. Like
Yeah. It's
clearly
like,
they weren't planning on moving here.
Yeah.
So it's like not like they prepared by learning English, you know?
yeah. And I think they don't have any American friends to talk to. Because when
Right.
you learn a language, to use it, you have to like
Talk.
talk to
Yeah.
like really get it.
Yeah.
You can learn from a book, but
Right.
yeah, you won't get it.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't claim to be totally bilingual, but I'm pretty good at Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally agree with you on that. Where like Baldo, one of the guys that works here, he's fluent in both English and Spanish.
Yeah.
And we'll travel together sometimes, usually to Spanish-speaking countries.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been crazy since I've started going on these trips with him. I thought I was okay at Spanish, and then like you go on these trips where you have to use it,
Yeah.
and you learn so much faster.
Yeah.
And I know that's not like a groundbreaking thing to say, but you
Yeah.
don't really get it until you have to do it. You
Yeah.
know?
I agree.
MSW Nutrition is a supplement line that helps all areas of your body, starting with the liver. Once the liver is detoxed, it helps everything else fall into place. On the MSW Nutrition website, howdoyouhealth.com, you can find all sorts of supplements to help with energy, mood, gut, sleep, digestion, you name it. There's a supplement for it on howdoyouhealth.com. And if you check out the website, you can use the code DETALKS, DETALKS, at checkout to save 15%. All supplements in this line are the most bioavailable version possible, meaning everyone will have an easy time absorbing it, and all supplements are produced in FDA-approved labs. So check it out at howdoyouhealth.com. Use the code DETALKS to save 15%. And if you want to check out the drinks that everyone talks about so much on the show, that's the Boost product. Again, howdoyouhealth.com, code DETALKS. So you said you were 5 when you came over?
Yeah.
So you were like pretty much right about to start school.
Yeah. I went to pre-K.
Mm-hmm.
and then elementary.
And that probably really helped you with your English too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. My mind kind of like refused to learn English in a way because I didn't like I don't know. I didn't like
Didn't like the
writing.
language as much.
Yeah, I didn't like to study much. So I feel like my grammar got kind of messed up because I was really into hip hop music.
Yeah.
So I was writing raps and stuff like.
Oh my God, that's
like
awesome.
English, like essay and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think your grammar was different because of that?
Yeah, I think so. It kind of like I fucked up. My grammar is still not like perfect. It's still not good. Yeah.
I mean, I also just don't think they really teach grammar in school though. So it's like
yeah, that's something you gotta pick on, right?
Like it's like how much of that was you not wanting to learn it, and how much of that was us not learning it ever?
Yeah.
Because I really like learning about sentence structure in college. Like I just remember having to take an English class in college, and I was like, I don't know what any of this means. Like I know English. This is my first language, and I don't know the parts of a sentence. Like, yeah, it's interesting how they go about teaching it because English is such a weird language.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah, I think we kind of learn it when we type in like Microsoft Word or
That's
like in a
true.
program and have that red thing if it's
the
like
red
wrong and stuff. Yeah. Okay, maybe I need a comma here or a period or an apostrophe.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. I mean, the computers taught us probably better than most of our teachers.
Oh yeah.
That's wild. So, when you were growing up, like, did you like comedy? Like, what started your interest in comedy? Where did that come in?
So, have you seen the movie called Me, Myself, and Irene?
No.
It's a movie with Jim Carrey, right?
Yeah.
And he's like delusional. What those people call where they take on like another personality?
Oh, multiple personality.
Yeah, so he had that with 3 different personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the plot is very silly, but he raised 3 black kids, like chubby, very big black kid. And then those kids were watching Chris Rock HBO special.
Right.
So there's a scene in that movie. Those kids were watching it, and they were all laughing and stuff. And he just looked at them like, yeah. So I was like, oh, who's that? Yeah. I remember the first Chris Rock joke I heard. The best place to pick up chick is at an abortion clinic because you know they had sex before. That's the first. I think they show it in that movie. So yeah, I was like, what the fuck was that? So after that, I started listening to Chris Rock heavy.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I don't know, Chris Rock just seemed like a guy that's like very smart to me.
Right.
Yeah. But I didn't start doing comedy, till like I was old, like
years later.
Yeah, I'm like 25 or 26. I'm 33 now, 6 years. Can't even do the math on that. 33 minus 6. Yeah, 27, yeah. Yeah, I talked to a comedian. Now I've done felt like they started late.
Right.
And the thing about comedy is, right, it doesn't matter when you start it. If you're hot right now, you're hot.
Right.
Like, if you have a good 10 minutes right now that kill it,
right.
then you're hot. Rather than somebody that did it for like a long time, but they just don't have the material at that time. Or
right.
they don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like, I don't know. I feel like comedy is one of those things that definitely, clearly time helps you get better.
Yeah.
Right? But it's also like, hey, if you're booking a show.
That's the thing about that, though.
What?
When you say time helps you get better.
Right.
That will only work if you kind of like progress.
Right.
But I've seen comedian time where they go down because they do the same thing and they don't change it up.
Yeah.
And they actually gotten worse.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because they get lazy with the same material.
Yeah, same material. And the material now with society, some of that material won't work anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you have to be even more tactful than before.
Because that's such a crazy time, too.
Yeah, right now it's like a time where it's like,
yeah. I hope in like 10 years we look back at comedy from right now and go, what the fuck was going on?
Yeah, what the fuck was going on?
Thank God those jokes don't work anymore.
Yeah.
Do you remember how crazy we were?
Yeah.
Like, oh, God. That is a good point, though. It's like, I'll update what I was saying. Time helps you get better as long as you keep working on it.
Yeah.
So
You have to be
that's-
aware of like
right.
where society is at, where the mind is at.
Right. But there's also it's like comedy is definitely to some degree like if you're funny you should get booked. But there's a little bit of like some people will look at someone and say, "Oh, you've only been doing it a year. I don't want you on my show yet."
Really? People do that?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's so crazy.
I
To me,
know.
it's like, this
Like,
person is hot, they're killing it, and
Yeah.
put them on the show.
Right. And I
Yeah.
think that's been less of an issue
Yeah.
more recently. And I think like it's definitely wasn't like everyone thought that way, but it was definitely kind of a thing for a while. And I've
Oh, wow.
noticed it. And like, but it's so interesting because I love seeing the reverse happen. Like Connor Nutt, he's been doing comedy for less than a year, but he's really fucking funny. And he killed it. I think he did like a 15-minute set at Romo Room. And he was telling me he was like so excited about this set that he did. And it was really good. And then someone came up to him after and was like, "Dude, how long have you been doing comedy? That was so good." And he was like, "Oh, I've been doing it for 5 months." And they were like, "What? How did you just do 10 or 15 or whatever it was, like that good?" And it's like, he's been working hard.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely things you need to learn about being on stage, but like, if you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. To me, it's about momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about comedy for you when you first started?
I was afraid that nobody, based on my voice, they won't understand the stuff that I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. That was an insecurity I had to overcome. And I was really nervous every time I got on stage. I was like shit scared nervous.
Right.
Yeah, it's so scary. The first few times doing comedy is like the scariest shit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, it's so scary. Like you have no idea how scary it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Had you done anything else on stage before you tried comedy? Like, had you done any other type of performance?
So in middle school, and in elementary. So in elementary, instead of, you know how you go from 5th grade to 6th grade? They put me in this thing called magnet program.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird like school where like it's kind of better in a way that you have a teacher that's like very like personal to you and all the other students.
Yeah.
So instead of learning regular stuff, we would learn how to like program Legos, robot, and all of cool stuff. We go on our field trip and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that class, they have this thing where every Friday you have to go up and you have to do a presentation. So I did a presentation on like mummies and stuff. Yeah, I was so nervous. I was crying like after I did the presentation. That's how nervous I was. Yeah, but throughout the whole thing, people were like laughing and stuff, laughing their ass off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know why.
Right.
Yeah, I was just saying facts about mummies.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And in high school, I experienced something similar. In high school, you know how some curriculum that make you take, but then you pick?
Right.
So then you pick speech, history, or something else.
Yeah, you kind of choose.
Yeah, so I pick a speech, and I have to do something similar. Like every Friday, we had to give a speech and stuff.
Yeah.
So every Friday, I would go up and talk, and people would laugh to the point where the whole class would anticipate me every Friday.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's
but I didn't thought
cool.
anything of it. Back then, I didn't really know about stand-up comedy, even though I know about Chris Rock and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though, because like, I've seen you perform so many times, and just like knowing you as a person, like, there's something about the way that you say stuff that's just so dry and like matter of fact, and you're a very nice, like happy guy.
Yeah.
But just the way you say stuff, it's a very dry humor delivery that like you said, it's like, I'm just saying facts about mummies, and we both laughed. Like you're not even trying to be funny, and there's something about the way you say it that's funny, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of shows like a little precursor to what your stand-up would be. That's really cool.
My biggest awakening in comedy is when I did this mic at I forgot the place called. It's that Barton Austin, Java, but it wasn't the one on Barn Spring. It was the one on 38 in downtown somewhere.
Yeah.
And they used to have a mic hosted by Andrew Murphy. Yeah, so that particular day, there's a group of blind people, like elderly blind people. There's this woman needing them.
Yeah.
And she brought them to an open mic.
Oh.
I know. So watching AV Comedian went up, they got heckled.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, because those people don't give a shit. You're bad.
They can't
They'll
even
heckle
see you. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. So I was just watching comedian go up there get heckled. But I was really nervous when I went up there. The first half of my set was riffing with them.
Right.
And I got them on pace, so I just did my set.
Yep.
And there was so much laughter, and the applause was like so great. That gave me confidence to where it's like, you know, if your material is good, they don't have to see you to be into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good realization. And like, was that one of the first times you also actually like talked to the crowd and did some crowd work?
Oh yeah, because really had no choice. When I went up, I forgot something. They say something, and I say something about Oriental. And they just bust out laughing.
Yeah. You're like, I got him already.
Yeah.
So, that's cool. Yeah, like I always found that like the crowd stuff was the scariest for me.
Oh, the crowd interaction?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just because like I grew up, and I totally agree with you, by the way, that comedy is like so terrifying.
It's very terrifying.
My first open mic was at Kick Butt.
Yeah.
I did like the Wednesday open mic at Kick Butt, and I just remember like almost hiding in the bathroom because I was like so scared.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know how to write a joke at the time. I was like, I just need to go up and like tell a couple things that I think are jokes.
Yeah.
Tell a funny story and just like get it over with. I like knew I was gonna bomb my
Yeah.
first set, right? And I was just so scared. And it's interesting because like I think a lot of it has to do with like the audience interaction for me at least. Because like I grew up acting and like doing orchestra and singing. Like I did all of these different things that required me to be on stage when I was a kid. And then I tried stand up and I wanted to shit my pants.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think a lot of that has to do with like stand up just causes you to be so much more personal with the audience.
Yeah.
You have to talk to them. You have to address, like you said, the thing that's happening in the room. If there's a group of people heckling everyone, you got to talk to them. You know, it's like, and I think the unknown really freaked me out.
Yeah.
You know, and so it took a lot to, I mean, I still get nervous about that, but it's definitely a muscle you need to train. You know?
I still get nervous. I did a mic yesterday, all new material. And I was pretty nervous about the material for going out.
Yeah, I think, do people ask you a lot if you still get nervous? Because I get asked that a lot, and it's like, absolutely.
Not a lot,
Yeah.
but I guess I learned how to mask my nervousness.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't really get nervous at shows when I look at it and I see
Right.
the host doing well and the person before me doing well. I'm like, okay, this is a
Right.
very controlled environment, and they're like really into it.
Yeah.
Now, if I was to do a show at like outdoor show with like there's many distractions, then I'll
Right.
get nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like I do almost get more nervous at open mics, and I always thought it was because it was new material, but I think part of it is also because it's such a chaotic environment.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard for me to even tell if these jokes are good because no one's paying attention.
No one paying attention, yeah.
It's true. It's like extra scary. It's like, please, I just need to know if these jokes are good.
So at an open mic, if like one of my jokes get like a little laugh, then I'm like, okay,
I can try that on a show.
Yeah, that's worth working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. Because you're right. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize, because I hear so many people being like, I always wanted to try stand-up. I've always wanted to do an open mic. And I'm like, you can go tonight. Like, the barrier to entry is 0. Just show up on time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like, people always just are like, oh my God, that's so cool that you do open mics. It's like, I hate it. It's like, I do it, but it's also this almost the scariest part because you're working on new stuff. No one wants to listen to you. Like, everything is against you at an open mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely less glamorous than I think a lot of people realize.
I guess it's worth it if you do the open mic and you finally get put on a hot show,
For
and then you
sure.
get to see all this material. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I love that. Like, if there's someone that I've only ever seen at an open mic and
Yeah.
then they get booked on a show or I book them on a show and,
Yeah.
like, I get to watch their actual set in front of a real audience.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, you are funny. I couldn't hear you over the people screaming at the
Yeah.
open mic. Yeah.
Yeah. Since I've been doing stand-up comedy, I've been thinking about dopamine regulation.
Yeah.
So you know how you're on a hot show and you kill, you get a lot of dopamine, right? All the
Yep.
people energy going to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you get really high dopamine, but with really good dopamine, it's faster for you to be sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would balance it out by like, you know, sometimes I'll be putting on live shows, like hot shows, like back to back and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would balance it out with like hitting a mic and just bomb. And then it just bring me back to like
Bring you back to center.
center. Yeah.
I like that because that's a thing that people don't realize with like the happy hormones.
Yeah, the
right?
happy hormone,
Is
right?
like you get a spike of dopamine and then like the other ones will also spike to try and balance it out and it does this.
Yeah. Or
and
when you get put on a hot show and you crush it, but then the whole week you're not on any show, so
And
your
then you're just like,
dopamine,
"Ugh."
yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
So you're saying though you'll like do a hot show and raise that dopamine and then you're like, nope, I'm the one making the dopamine crash by bombing at a mic. Let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way you think about that because it's true. Like I didn't even look at it that way, but I was looking at my shows for this week and I was like, I don't have any shows this week. Shit.
But to me, the greatest feeling is actually getting an applause break at an open mic for new material.
Yeah.
There's nothing greater than that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's the ultimate high for me.
Yeah, well, because you like got the attention of all the distracted people.
Yeah.
And then the joke was
Especially
so
it's a
good.
dead open mic where every comedian, like, one after one, just...
They just leave after their set.
Yeah.
Or they're just not paying attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right about that, though. And are there things that you do to, like, take care of yourself outside of comedy to, like, try and help with the mood balance stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a problem for a lot of comedians.
Yeah, I go inside nature a lot without my cell phone and just walk.
Yeah.
And it's great for coming up with material. If anything comes, it just comes. But I don't walk to, like, come up with material. I just walk to, like, trying to be present as possible. Yeah, I do that. It helps a lot. I feel like when I use the phone, right, if I use it often, I get addicted to it. Like, I check Facebook, Instagram story.
Yeah.
Like, constantly.
Me too.
Yeah, it's like very easy for me to get addicted to it. And when you use social media, you see like what comedian. So when we check out friends shit, you see them on shows and everything.
Yes.
Oh man, they're having so much fun.
Right.
So it creates that fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I agree. Like nature time is so necessary.
Yeah.
Cause we talked a little bit about meditating before we started the podcast. Like, do you meditate regularly or would you say nature is the number one for you?
To me, being in the moment itself, like whatever you're in, that's like meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like that's the purpose of meditation to help you like be more present.
Right.
Yeah, so if you can be present in whatever activity you're doing, then you're meditating. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I agree. That's something I've talked about with my boyfriend quite a lot because, like I mentioned to you before, like he's really into meditation and I think it's very good to do that. It's a good practice.
Yeah.
But he made a really good analogy about it yesterday when we were talking about it. He was like, yeah, he goes, you think of your meditation practice, whatever it is, regular meditation, nature time, like breath work. He's very pro, like you have to sit and meditate. But he's like, look at your meditation as if it's like the bicep curl for your presence, right? And he was like, you know, if someone's been working out for a year and there's one day where they haven't worked out yet, but they need to lift all this heavy shit from their car, he's like, they're not going to freak out and be like, I haven't worked out today, I can't do this.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you've been working out for a year. And he's like, it's the same with meditation. Like, you take time out to like consciously meditate or be present.
Yeah.
And then if there's a day when you miss it, you
Mhm.
still know how to access that because you've been practicing it for so
Yeah.
long, you know?
Okay.
And I was like, I like that because I always get annoyed if there's like someone who says, don't talk to me until I've meditated or don't talk to me until I've gone to yoga today or whatever. And I'm just like, you're missing the whole point.
Yeah, you're missing the whole point.
Yeah.
Now you a chance to be present with this
Yeah.
conversation you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, I haven't meditated to center myself today. It's like, I just don't think you're getting centered in your meditation
Yeah.
if you need it in the morning, you know?
But the most important thing about being in the moment for me, it helped me listen to my thoughts. Yeah. So I can now wish thoughts to pass and wish thoughts that I can energize.
Yeah.
So all the negative thoughts, I'm like, okay, I can just let them pass.
like
Kind
they're-
of present, yeah, because like, oh, it's not true. It's just in my head.
Right.
Yeah. And if I have good thoughts, then, you know, I could play with them or
Yeah.
like think about them and then let it energize me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to look at it. And I think a very useful message for a lot of comedians.
Yeah. I mean, I think for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like the only thing that's killing humanity right now is our own head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we identify with enough stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is where cancel culture come in.
Right.
Like we try and create so much rule and so much identity to where if anything triggered that, then like that person get canceled.
Right.
Yeah. So humanity is going to kill themselves with identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that this is definitely I don't remember who said it. It was definitely from a Rogan podcast. One of the researchers he had on said that like there's a weird phenomenon in a lot of societies right before they collapse of like being obsessed with identity and obsessed with gender. And I'm not trying to say like gender identity isn't important. People should do what feels best for them, but it's like the obsession with it.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you're talking with anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not only happening with gender right now. It's happening with all these different things in our country.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Like, I think people latch on to opinions or ideas and they identify with those.
Yeah.
And it's different than having values, right? I think a lot of people combine their opinions with what they think are values. So it's like, say, I'll never kill. And so then my opinion is I'm pro-life.
Yeah.
But it's like, I see how they draw it out as an extension of a value, but it's still like an opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very hard for people to understand that like even if you feel very strongly about something for your own life or the people you're around, there are other people out there that feel very differently.
Yeah, and their situation are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't been through what they've been through.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like if you identify too, I mean, this comes back to presence. Like if you're identifying so strongly with things that have happened to you in the past, and that's your reasoning for thinking a certain way now, it's like that's also harmful.
Yeah.
You know, it's like being present is about like not ignoring the past or the future, but understanding that like all I can really manage is right now.
Yeah.
And if I'm worried about what did happen or what I think is about to happen, I don't get to work on what I actually can work on, which is right now.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm at a point, right? I'm going to try to explain something to you, see if you'll get it.
Yeah. DeTalks with Allison is also sponsored by MSW Vitamin Lounge here in Westlake Hills in Austin, Texas. You can see we're in the How Do You Health studio. They let us use the space as well as give us our IVs. They quite literally hook us up with vitamin IVs for every show. This is a full-service vitamin IV and injection studio. You can also get chiropractic services, blood work consultations, PRP facials, and a whole lot more. We're very grateful to be doing the show here. You can check out MSW Lounge at MSW Lounge on Instagram or on howdoyouhealth.com.
So I'm at a point where like the past is not real, right? Because based on like my own interpretation, everybody is, right? So I just break everything down to the basic, right? How we're taught everything.
Right.
So let's say a country, right? Before it was a country, it was a part of land.
Right.
And a lot of people live in it, so they created a language. And they created border, and all of that, they created a race.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. They created language. So everything was created in human interpretation.
Right.
And then as you grow older, you get more interpretation, more perspective. But if you look back at what happened and you kind of see it's like it was built on that, then it wasn't real.
Right.
Kind of like the corner red is not red.
It's just there, and we
like
put a name on it.
Yeah, a name on it. So everything that happened to you, you put a name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
So if you look at it, if like an alien look at your life through like a movie from the past to like present, to them it's like not real because they don't have those interpretations.
Or it's just like that thing happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like
well, the thing is they'll see it and they don't even see corners.
Yeah.
Because what taught corners?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely understand that line of thought because it's like our famous crystal over here.
No,
we have this giant ass fucking quartz crystal right here.
A podcast is real to us because we kind of agree what a podcast is.
Right.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. We agree this is a chair.
Right.
And it's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's real is based off of the human mind that we created. So all the stuff we fight over about, it's not even science. It's not even 1 + 1 = 2.
Problems
Not even
we created.
Yeah. Problem we created, interpretation.
Right.
Yeah. And even 1 + 1 = 2 isn't real. Like if you break it down, because that's something we created to like have two of something. Explain something.
Yeah.
What we explain isn't even real because we created it.
It's all stories.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? But it's the most accurate thing to measurement numbers. But it's still a story.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And that actually is very similar to what Alex and I talk about a lot, is like what is reality versus what is not.
Yeah.
And you're right, at the basics of everything.
Yeah.
That's just an item sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
I've decided to call it a crystal.
Yeah.
But like coming back to your point about past, present, future, you know, if an alien were to watch the movie of my life, they're like, oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't really have emotional attachment to it. They don't really know what any of it means.
Yeah, they don't know the good or bad moment in your life. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, these are the things that happened during the span of this person's life.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's very objective and detached.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they're like, why does this person go on stage and talk in front of strangers?
I know! Man, she says the word dick too often. I don't understand.
What is that?
Like, what are these people getting out of this weird thing?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good to appreciate identity because of all the stuff that it brings, like creativity. And for comedy to work, you know, we have to make fun of identity.
Right.
And stuff. Yeah, so I appreciate it for that.
Right.
But that's our downfall.
Do you feel like the way, like, looking at life like that kind of helps you to, clearly it helps to keep you centered because you're a very, like, kind and calm and also funny person.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it helps you, like, write better jokes, just be better in life in general? Because, like, it's hard to be mad once you look at things that way.
Oh, yeah. It's very hard to be mad. Yeah, and like something happened to you and you think that, oh, it's not even real. It's my interpretation of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like saying, I mean...
It's almost like other people are in like a movie. Like they're playing out the script, their identity. They're not realizing it's not real.
You're calling everyone NPCs over here?
I met people that called people NPC before. And it's weird. Like it's like,
crazy.
how dare you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're out of your mind. I wouldn't trust you if like it wasn't a hostage situation. I didn't want to be around you.
Dude, I did see a meme that made me laugh about that the other day. It was like, if we're not living in a simulation and NPCs don't exist, how come you've never seen your neighbors bring in their groceries? I was like, fuck. But yeah, like it's hard to be mad, and it's also just like when you said like something happens to me and then I get mad and then I'm like, oh well, that's my interpretation.
Yeah,
like,
your interpretation.
You can even go so far as to be like, yeah, like maybe this thing happened to me.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, what can I learn from this?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like the the verbiage of this happened to me, like I don't think it's totally bad to say something happened to me, because I really do think sometimes, like you're set out to do a thing and then you get in a car crash, or like, and it's like genuinely I got T-boned. This was not me causing the crash. Like someone else caused the crash. But it's like, okay, this happened to me, or you can say, where do I go from here? It's like, rather than just saying like, oh, this happened to me and now I'm like dealing with all the aftermath of why this thing happened to me and everything's coming at me. And it's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But how are you going to use that to get out of the situation that you're interpreting as bad?
Oh,
you know, it's like, rather than taking the again, I'm not saying victims aren't real, but rather than just getting woe is me about it, it's like, cool, this bad thing happened. How do I go from here? Rather than just like wallowing in it and being sad.
Yeah.
And like getting worked up or identifying even over that thing. And that's not to say working on those thought patterns isn't necessary.
Yeah.
It's like, you could have some really terrible thing happen to you and it takes a long time to process it and get over it. But it's like, to me, I think the goal should always be like, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
Because you're
I
right.
agree.
In the eyes of the universe, or whatever you want to call it, just physics.
Yeah.
It's just a thing happening.
Yeah, everything is neutral.
There's no good or bad.
Yeah, there's no good or bad. Yeah. Everything is neutral. And I think it's hard for a human to understand that.
Well, like we said, people might have super strong values.
Yeah.
And you're taught that, seeing something that, like, you're taught that violence is bad.
Yeah.
And most of us would agree that that's a value we have. Violence is bad.
Yeah.
Right? But then there's always...
Yeah.
There's a thing in science that's basically like, if you can disprove a hypothesis once, then that hypothesis is not
like
true.
shatter.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, cool, let's say 99 times out of 100 violence is bad. Someone is just being a dickhead and they're being violent.
Yeah.
But what about that one instance where a mom has to punch someone in the face to run away with a loaf of bread to feed her kids?
Yeah.
That was violence.
Yeah.
But was it bad? Because she was doing it to feed her kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you leave that window open for interpretation,
yeah,
it's it just shows you that things are less binary than we want to make them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very. I wouldn't want to say non-binary. Then I'm stuck inside binary. Non-binary.
It's very gray.
Yeah, it's gray. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you do anything to help you, like? I mean, it might just be like a mantra, like, or just a saying that you have in your head that like kind of keeps you on that path, but like do you do anything to help you keep that mindset, or did you read something that brought this to your attention? Like, how did you...
So when I walk, I just trying to break everything down to like its most simplest form in a way that's like, so when I walk, I kind of like, I don't know, I see everything as like not real, like none of my thought is real. Like thoughts come in like, oh, not real.
Like, that's a thought.
Yeah, so when I walk and I be present in the moment and I see like everything is like not real, it just my brain is running and it's interpreting stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I wouldn't say shutting my brain down, but I definitely put it inside like another mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, to where I don't need to use it and I feel much freer not using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, oh yeah, I've been tapping into my body more. Be aware of my movement. It helped me stay in the moment and my breath and stuff. So I feel like maybe I reached a point in evolution where I should trust my body more than my brain. Because I see where my brain gets me.
Right.
Yeah, so now I feel like I'm out of my brain and still being a person inside my brain. Because inside my brain, I'm a person named Tai Nguyen doing a podcast right now talking to you.
Right.
Outside of my brain, everything is just energy, and I'm just interpreting it this way. So outside of my brain, everything is neutral. Yeah.
Right. And your brain is assigning the different...
Yeah, all signed up, yeah.
I love that. And it's so crazy that you say that, because like there are studies now on those different brain states.
Yeah.
Right? Like it sounds very much like when you go out in nature and you're really practicing presence and getting more into your body, like I believe that's alpha brain state, which is what some people would call flow state.
I guess that's a good state to be in.
It is,
The
but
flow
it's like
state.
because it's like it helps you create easier because you're present. You know, you're just kind of letting things come to you as they do.
Yeah.
Do kind of whatever your body is saying you need to do or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's so cool saying like I'm trying to get out of my head and more into my body and my heart even, because like I know there's some research coming out now that like we've known that the brain and our neurons are super electromagnetically charged, right? But what's interesting is the heart actually has a stronger electrical output in one direction.
Yeah.
Like the brain kind of is scattered all throughout the body to send impulses in different places, and the heart is like a much stronger, like it sounds weird, but like if you're standing in front of a person and you were to try and feel like where the electric current is coming from, you'd feel it from their heart because it beats like straight out almost when you do like there's these scans that they can do on electrical currents in the body, and the heart is always the strongest in one direction. And it's just interesting to think about because it's like I think you're right, like the brain is probably our computer processor that's trying to make sense of everything we're seeing, but the body and the heart have their own functions and ways to store memories or emotions or know what you need to keep yourself healthy.
Yeah.
And if you're not paying attention by literally checking in and being like, all right, let's drop down, let's do a scan. It's like a body scan, you know, you might be mentally doing it, but like just the visual of like scanning down forces you to be aware of your big toe. You know, it's like, okay, cool. And the body's intelligence is just starting to be understood.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that you are like, you're actually like way far along in that. Like, I think there's not many people who are tapped in like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like I'm evolving.
Yeah.
If that was the word to say it.
Right.
Yeah, but I think you don't have to be like mentally smart to be like, I don't even think I'm smart. I'm just in the moment and I just throw everything I learned away.
Right.
Yeah.
Approach everything like it's a new thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm in the moment, like I go to an open mic, everything feels fresh again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're excited and
yeah.
you're just like, oh wow, yeah.
Ever since I've been neutral, I kind of appreciate stuff that people consider bad. Yeah, cause I feel like those stuff have to happen for us to appreciate the good stuff.
That's like that's a big theory just in some of the more like new age philosophy stuff, right? Where it's like you don't get to know what good is until you've experienced bad.
Yeah.
And I know we just said those are both interpretations, but it's like those interpretations are still valid.
They're still valid,
right? It's not like you're saying don't have interpretations. It's just understand that they're interpretations, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I agree with you, like you don't know, you wouldn't know what good is unless you had something to compare it to.
Yep.
Which I think is kind of what I was trying to get at when it's like, okay, something bad happens in your life.
Yeah.
How do you come out of it?
Yeah.
It's like you have to know that bad thing happened, but now you can.
Now you know it.
Now you know. Okay, I don't want this again.
It's like people that heal people, right?
Right.
They wouldn't be able to do that if they didn't went through that same drama and they healed from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the gift was created from whatever happened to them.
Right.
Same with comedian. A lot of comedians start comedy after something drastic happened to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean and it's so funny because everyone kind of knows that with comedians, right? Like something happened or whatever, and then you started comedy, but everyone's always shocked when a doctor says like, "Oh yeah, I've had to have 4 heart surgeries, and now I'm the one doing the heart surgeries." It's like, no shit, he knows what it's like to be in your position. He wants to help you out of it, you know?
I guess here's the good thing about being human is like we don't change until shit hit the fan.
Right. Yeah, diamonds are built under pressure, right?
Yeah.
But then that's the good thing about humanity too.
Well, that's the good thing about having a brain and being stubborn as a human.
Right.
Because you know everything already, then life could be kind of boring to you because you're able to create stuff at a very fast pace.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you feel like once you're more neutral and aligned, like it helps you to create more too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, because you don't, like, your attention isn't scattered.
But you need to learn what it's like to be scattered before
Yeah.
you get to, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love this conversation so much.
Dude, I think there's people out there that understand this reality so well that they
Yeah.
just sit in a mountain and they disappear and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's no more fun for them.
That's a thing though. Like
Yeah.
you hear about like Buddhist, especially Buddhist like masters that
Yeah.
just they fucking they're like, all right, I'm
Yeah,
done.
I'm done. I'm gonna tap out
Yeah.
and disappear. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Give my robes to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that also kind of gives like a, if we're gonna get into the woo woo, like it gives you a little insight to like how much control do we have, because there are like so many stories of someone just like fucking off and living a perfect life after they decided to fuck off,
Yeah.
or disappearing because
Yeah.
they went into a meditation and
Yeah.
they're like, all right, I'm done. It's like, well, they just made that decision to do that. So like if they can make a decision to do something like that,
Yeah.
can't you make a decision to go get that new job or like
Oh, yeah.
ask that person out? Like if like you really do have deciding control over a lot more
Yeah.
than you'd think.
Yeah.
It's very
We do.
helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you also need to give yourself that permission.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
This
Give
could
yourself
go on all
permission.
day.
Yeah.
Jalen's like, what did Allison smoke before she came into the podcast?
Yeah.
I haven't had a conversation like this on the podcast before. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been like pondering things like this? Is this
For a long time, I have nobody to talk to about them.
yeah.
Yeah. I really don't. Yeah, I really don't have people to talk about it with. Or I explain concept, but they
Right.
don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try and break it down as much as possible. I'm like, you
Right.
still don't get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's cool. Cause it definitely like
I feel like, we all have to go through a journey. Something had to happen that kind of wake us up.
yeah.
So probably at a point in time when people tell me stuff, I wouldn't get it
Right.
until something happened. And now,
And now you understand.
yeah, I'm more aware, so I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a process.
I've definitely had a lot of things like that where something terrible happens to me in the moment, and
Yeah.
then that is where the benefit of analyzing your past comes in, right? Like if you're present and you're just kind of sitting there and maybe something like suddenly makes you feel
Yeah.
wonky, right? Like you
Yeah.
don't feel good.
Yeah.
And then you go, wow,
What happened
why did
in
I
my
have
past?
that reaction?
Yeah.
And then you go back and you're like, oh, it's because when I was 12
Yeah.
that my parents said this to me or
Yeah.
whatever, or like my friend stole a thing from me. And it's like, it could be something so silly, like
Yeah.
literally like a bully stole my lunch money. But
Yeah.
it was like, that created a pattern in you
Yeah.
that now when someone takes money from you, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, And
Yeah.
and it's just, it doesn't fix what happened to you in the
Yeah.
past. It just makes you understand.
Understand. So when similar situation come, you don't do the same pattern. And the
Right.
thing is, right? We don't even know. Like most of our decision we made is already made. Like,
Yeah.
it's stored in our body.
Right.
Unless we go back in time, like you say, and we figure out what happened, and we realize that pattern, and we're
Right.
conscious when it happened, and we do something different. We're like,
Right.
oh, okay. Maybe this why I'm broke because
Of this
same
thought
pattern, yeah.
It's crazy because like, and when you say like stored in the body, memories can literally be stored in the body or
Yeah.
emotion, especially
yeah.
emotions.
That's why I feel like, once you quiet, you kind of get rid of some of that information that was
Yeah.
stored in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were talking about that. You were saying you think like the healthiest people
Yeah.
in the world
Yeah.
are the ones that have control over their mind.
Yeah.
And I agree because
Yeah.
it's like if you know how to bring yourself back to that centered place,
Yeah.
you're not going to crave bad foods.
Yeah.
You're going to know it's time to go on a walk. You're
Yeah.
going to know I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be more in touch with
Yeah.
what your needs
Yeah.
are.
And you can even enjoy that bad food. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this.
And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm choosing this because I really like the taste.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm not going to have a bad reaction to it. It's
Yeah.
cool. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sounds so ridiculous. clearly I've also been like considering these things a lot. 'Cause
Yeah.
it just sounds so ridiculous to a lot of people that this could be like a mentality. And I'm not saying it's the end all be all one, but I do find a lot of understanding with others coming from that place.
Yeah.
It's like it's equanimity. Like as soon as you know that any of your thoughts or opinions are based on your past experience
Yep.
and you're like a product of your environment,
Yep.
you can't really hate anyone else.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like they were just a product of a different environment that I
Yeah.
don't understand.
Yeah. So I guess once you see how somebody is kind of like made based on the belief system they have grown up, and you're able to see yours, then you say,
Yeah.
oh wow, we were just taught this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get to, once you make the realization of, oh, I was taught this way,
Yeah.
then you can say, do I
Like-
still want to believe this?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Do I
know?
want to throw it in people's face like this is
Right.
the thing you should do?
Does
Yeah.
this even make sense to me anymore? Does this work for me?
Yeah.
Do I want to continue believing this?
Yeah. So me, I just see myself as something that constantly upgrade. I'm not like stuck in one belief system.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel that way too. It's like there's clearly wisdom anywhere you go.
Yeah.
And you kind of just get to collect different pieces of it
Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah.
I love that. You say you don't really like have many people to talk to about this. I know you're friends with a lot of comedians. Like, do you have friends outside of that much, or you just don't really feel like any of them?
Thing is, I can hang out with people if I want to. That's like another group that's like I know that's like out there, you know. Not
Right.
people I can hit up to go party and stuff.
Right.
I feel like I know when like I want like interaction and stuff, and when I don't want it.
Right.
Yeah, and I've gotten so well at analyzing people's thoughts pattern that I know when I talk to which person, what they're gonna talk about, and I know that's kind of like
He's like, I read you today, Allison.
it's like no, just based on their belief system, I know what this person is gonna be drawn to talking about.
Right.
Or like this group, so they talk about the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I hang out with a group of Asian, right, they're gonna talk about Asian stuff. Or if they got hurt by white people, they're gonna shit on white people. So I know when I go there what the stuff that they're gonna be talking
You're like,
about.
I got the jokes already written. Let's go.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's where I am with people, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that how you approach shows too? Like, do you kind of scan the audience to see what the vibe is?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I could, based on their reaction to the person before me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you about your special since we haven't even gotten to that yet.
Yeah.
What's it called? How long is it?
It's called Pigeon Confetti. It's 50-minute long, and that's me recording it at Stateside Paramount when I was 2 years into comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a wild ride.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I have questions about this because
Yeah.
it's like, how did you get into Stateside to do that? Like, what made you want to record it? Like,
So I wanted to record it because I heard somebody say that, you should retire your material once you have like an hour or
Right,
something, so you
yeah.
could start out fresh.
right.
So I wanted to retire that material, and Stateside Paramount wasn't my first choice. Didn't even came to my mind. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was possible.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it at Cold Town Theater. 'Cause I used to host a Friday night show there.
Yeah.
Yeah, every week. But then a comedian was doing the funniest person in Austin contest. I'm like, that's very selfish of me to take away their 5 minutes where they had to practice for that for me to do
Right.
my special.
To do my special.
Yeah. Now that I thought about it again, if I went back, I would be like, fuck those people.
I'm recording on my own show.
Yeah.
It's my show.
Yeah. So, I thought about that, and I thought about recording it at the small room in Cap City Comedy.
Mhm.
But then I don't have any relationship to capture comedy, and I'm very hesitant to ask whoever won that spot.
Right.
So I was like, nah, fuck that.
Right.
Yeah, and then a guy came in. He's like a producer. He run business and everything, and he used to put on play at the Paramount. So he said, hey, how about you do it at the stateside Paramount? Only 300 seats. So he put inside my head that it's possible.
Yeah.
So once that's possible, I'm like, why would I want to do it anywhere else?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I had been able to go see that. That was before I started comedy.
Yeah. So you can actually do it. You can rent out like the Paramount. You have to fill out a form and stuff.
Right.
And have another person do it if you're emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
Whatever you're emotionally attached to, you feel you can't do, hire somebody else to do it.
I love that.
Yeah, so he did it. The thing is, once you like fill the form, you have to keep getting on them, or else they'll forget you.
Yeah.
Or they don't even follow up.
Yep.
So a good thing having another person do that, because if I would have done it and they didn't follow up with me, I was like, oh, I'm a fucking loser.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but somebody else did it and they keep following up with that person, then eventually it happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that just like so fun?
It
you,
was
like,
very
perform again?
nerve-wracking. It's
Yeah.
like valley and peak, so I was just going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the actual show like did you have a couple of your friends open and like did you put on a whole show or was it like
It's a whole show. I had Chris Castle host, Andrew Murphy perform,
Yeah.
like 15 minutes, and then I perform.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's available still, right?
Yeah, at TaiComedy.com. You can watch it.
TAIComedy.com.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I had no idea that was I didn't know you were 2 years in when you recorded that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And really
Crazy
impressive.
time. Yeah, yeah. Don't lie. I feel like I was more passionate about comedy then than now.
Yeah.
Cause I was really like, I really believed in myself during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I didn't have like any system of like how comedy is supposed to be.
Right.
I didn't have any big homies
Right.
or anything. I felt like I was more pure in a sense to like what I thought. Yeah. I was better at ignoring other external noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like because comedy is like that the first couple years. It's like, how does anyone ever make it in this industry?
Yeah.
They figure it out. Guess I get to go figure it out. And it's fun and empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really cool time to get to record a special.
Yeah. Now I see comedy, successful comedy, is like you're an independent business. If you're like a stand-up comedian that's successful, you have system that runs, you have like fans, you know how to get in contact with them, so you can kind of pack a seat. So you're like an independent business.
Yes.
Yeah, so in order to be successful, like make money, not talking about, even being good, but to make money, you have to be able to like, bring in revenue.
Sell tickets.
So you have to see yourself as an independent business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you approach it like that now?
Now, yeah, I'm thinking more of independent business. So I'm trying to do everything myself to see how much revenue I could bring in if I was an independent business.
Right.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if comedy is my purpose. I'm just doing it until I find something. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing to know, though. And you're very funny. You're very good at it. I think if stand-up isn't your purpose, being funny is part of your purpose. Because you clearly just, like I said, you have that, like, dry humor about you where you'll say something and it's just funny.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need to try. It's not like they're laughing at you. It's just however you said it, it was funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's useful whether you're doing stand-up or anything else. If you can make people laugh, like, you're done, Like, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea, like, if you were to switch from stand-up, like, is there something else that's kind of catching your eye? Or is it just kind of like, I'm just going to ride the wave and see where I go?
I thought about being a motivational speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And What else did I thought about doing? I thought about being a person that teach comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel too strong of a nudge to go toward those arena. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also just maybe it's the dopamine rush again from comedy, but it's like after you've done stand up, it's like, am I ever gonna feel like a dopamine hit, like a good set?
Yeah,
You
like
know?
where else can I get this?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel dirty afterwards.
Right. Oh my God. Wow. Well, I think let's wrap up the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I
I'm
want to
gone.
ask you before we leave, is there anything you're excited about right now? Could be literally anything.
Jeez. I guess I'm excited about cryptocurrency
Yeah.
going all the way up and cashing out before the market crash.
To the moon, baby.
Yeah, I'm trying to time the market because I feel like it's gonna crash. They all crash, so you just gotta.
At some point, just
Yeah.
watch those dips and those spikes.
Yeah, it's crash when everybody jump in, right?
Right.
Like everybody and their mom. Which now we see with Shiba.
Right.
Yeah, but the whole crypto market is gonna pop up because everybody's in it, and it's not like sustainable.
Right.
So
but
I'm
as
just
of right now,
yeah.
there's still very few people in it
Yeah.
comparatively.
Comparatively, yeah, but yeah. So when everybody and their grandma start having
Shiba.
crypto, yeah, having Shiba, then that's when it's time to cash out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
So remember cash out, y'all.
Remember to cash out.
Yeah.
Y'all. Wise words.
Yeah,
from
you don't
Tai Nguyen.
lose by cashing out. I mean, if you could hold it and you believe in it, then you
Right.
could hold it. If you could hold it for like years, then yeah.
Yeah.
Cause it might pop back up like years
could.
later, yeah.
It could. We don't fucking know. It's a crazy
Yeah.
thing.
I just like having money like right now.
Right. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, where can people find you?
On Instagram at Tai Nguyen with a Z at the end.
We'll put that in the bio.
Yeah.
Of the video.
Yeah, that's about it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You got any projects coming up or shows that you're running right now?
Yeah, I have a show every Saturday night at my house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Private comedy night.
Yeah, I feel like that would help me build an organic fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause all the people that go there, they go there because they see me somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, so.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I'll have to like go out, like leave the house.
Right. You're like, I
Maybe
just
my
get to
goal
leave
is
my
to be a
house.
work from home stand-up comedian. Maybe that's my path, you know. Comedian that never left the house
Work
and he's
from
making a
home.
living. Yeah, work from home comedian.
You need to change your Facebook job to that.
Yeah.
Work from home stand-up comedian. That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm so glad we did this. Thank you for being on the
it's fun.
podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, do whatever it is. Leave a review if you're on iTunes. And thank you so much. This has been DeTalks with Allison.
Yeah. Allison is part of the 0.1% people that could comprehend some of the stuff I talk about.